Today we are going to talk about manifestation and the law of attraction. So basically, if you don't know a lot about the law of attraction, like attracts like, okay? So anything that you think or do, you're going to attract those things to you. Basically, the world is a mirror of you. So things in your life that you think about all the time are going to come to light. Something big to recognize with the law of attraction and manifesting is that the universe does not understand negative and positive. So everything basically starts as neutral, and we are what puts a negative or a positive swing on it. So when an experience happens to you that seems bad at one point, you might realize in the future that you ended up thinking that was actually something that was very useful or helpful because it moved you into a path of your life that got you somewhere else that was actually where you wanted to be. Now, another thing about manifestation in the law of attraction is that it really centers around gratitude. So one thing that I like to do is in the morning, I write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. And at night, before I go to bed, I write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. And during the day, if something goes wrong and I start to think negative thoughts, I will look at that journal that I write that down in and think about all the things that I have to be grateful for. And then I will think about what's happening and try to put a positive notation on it and think why that might be happening and how that will help me in the future. Now, that brings me to my next point is the times. In the morning, right when you wake up, and at nighttime, right before you go to bed, is when your brain is the most receptive, okay? Like when you're kind of near theta state, that's when you're more relaxed, all right? So if you can do your manifesting and your scripting and everything right when you wake up or right when you go to bed, this is when you're the most receptive and your consciousness is connecting to the outside world in the biggest way. So when we're talking about in the morning, right when you wake up, that's when you want to set an intention for that day, okay? What are you going to do that day to get you closer to the end goal? What are these steps that you're going to take? What are you going to get done by the end of the day? And so on and so forth. So you want to set your intention in the morning when you wake up. Now at night, you want to more so set your long-term goals and think about that. And basically think about the how do I's and the questions you have for the universe so that you can sleep on it. And while you're sleeping, you can get some of those answers and clarifications. So when you wake up the next day, you will have some of those answers. And then as soon as you wake up, you can start scripting and writing things down and answers that you got while you were sleeping. So when we talk about scripting, that's the next one. Scripting basically is writing down things that you want to come to pass like they have already happened. So you would write like the date that it is on it, today's date, and then you would write like I'm so thankful that, so on and so forth, and basically just write down things that you want to come to pass and act like you already have them so that you can then feel like and put those emotions out into the universe. You can feel like those things are already happening and have already come to pass. So that's what we're doing while we're scripting. The next thing is visualization. So visualization is something that mainly like I do when I am meditating. Visualization is when you visualize, if anyone couldn't guess. No, it's when you really create a vision of what it is that you're after and what it is you want your life to look like, what you want your future to look like, what it is that you are doing everything you are doing for, so that even if you have to have early mornings or late nights and you're working really hard, you have a vision of where it is that you want to end up and what it is where you're trying to get to. Basically, if you don't set an intention and create a vision, then you're just going randomly towards randomness, basically. So you want to set, like what it is you're trying to get to, what your goals are, so that the universe has a motion to move you in, and the universe knows what it is that you want so that it can work with you. The universe wants you to have everything that you want, but if you don't let it know, then basically it's just working with whatever it thinks it has, whatever you think about the most, which a lot of people think about the negative stuff in their life the most. So the universe gives them more of that. That's basically how it works. So like attracts like, but so does the opposite, okay? Negative attracts negative, just like positive attracts positive. And that's also like where we almost come to the science. Like even like the first thing you learn in general chemistry lab is like dissolves like, okay? So pretty much the energy is the same in attracting. So those are a couple of steps for manifesting. Let me know in the comments if you guys want me to get more into any of those steps. Give this video a big thumbs up because it makes my heart super happy. Hit that subscribe button and help me get my community tab, please. And let me know in the comments also what you guys are manifesting, either what you are. Oh, you know what? One more thing is when you are trying to manifest, don't necessarily tell people what you're trying to manifest, okay? I mean, maybe people who are really into the law of attraction also, you can talk about it amongst each other. You can even maybe like do scripting back and forth, like put that energy out there that you guys are already living the life that you want to live. But when there are negative people around who don't necessarily believe in this stuff and are just going to tell you like you're wasting your time and whatever, add negative energy into it, you'll find that you're going to spend more of your time trying to teach them and educate them than you will end up spending forming your future. And it's really just a shift of energy that you can't afford, especially when you're starting out. So be very careful of that, sharing your manifestations. But other than that, I guess manifestations that have come to pass. All right. So things that you guys used any of these tips for manifesting that came to pass, let me know in the comments and ring that notification bell so that you never miss a video. Thank you so much, guys. And remember, if it harms none, do what you will. I know that all of your manifestations are going to come to pass, as long as they aren't of the ego. Just throw that in there. All right, that's something we could talk about also is ego manifestation, okay? Ego manifestation is more about when you can't surrender to the divine and you try to fix the hows and the whys and the whens and you don't leave it to the universe and you're trying to manifest things that aren't necessarily good for you or aren't good for all like of humanity, like where you really got to step on the heels of other people. And basically when you try to manifest from the ego, the universe isn't necessarily always going to work with you, so just have that in mind. Let me know in the comments as well if you want me to talk a little bit more about that, what I mean by manifesting from the ego. And I have to do your pick a card reading, so ring that bell so you do not miss it. Thanks, guys.